right. Well, thank you again for everyone for attending this event with me today at your lunchtime. I want to talk today about how to finance graduate school, and I'm going to go through a couple different things. So you'll see on this first screen here some different types of aid that's available out there. And what's nice is we actually also have a web page that you can go to as well too, elmhurst.edu/grad aid, that will go through this as well too with a lot of detailed information. We do have some course vouchers that we offer students. So those course vouchers are for students who completed their undergrad at Elmhurst University and then are wanting to go on to complete their graduate degree. As you know, kind of a thank you for completing their undergrad, we award them their first course voucher toward their graduate program. So it's a very nice benefit that we offer. Elmhurst University is also part of the United Church of Christ. So if you are a member of United Church of Christ Church, we also offer a free course voucher for you as well. In addition to that, we do have a legacy scholarship. So let's say that you didn't complete your undergrad here, but you know someone who is in your family, mother, father, sister, brother, who did actually go to Elmhurst and completed their undergrad or master's degree. Well, then we're going to award you with a legacy scholarship, and that's typically anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 there. So it's a nice benefit there. Some of our programs also offer departmental scholarships there. So MBA, IO, public health, there's quite a few. We have departmental scholarships there that typically what happens with those is we will award based on the program director's discretion there. So there's not anything typically that you have to apply separately for that. We take a look at that at the time of admissions there. And then I'm going to talk in more detail regarding the Elmhurst Graduate Grant and then loans in the next pages coming up here. All right, so I get this question a lot, and it's like, well, how do I apply for financial aid? And is it hard? Is it confusing? In years past, it was kind of a pain. You had to complete a paper application, believe it or not, and go through all that. I'm old enough to remember doing that, and it was not fun. But obviously, you know, they have now gotten past that, and now you go to studentaid.gov, and you're going to complete it directly online there. You go through all these prompts, and it'll run you right through step by step there. You're going to want to make sure that you have some of your financial information with you. So maybe your savings account information, checking account information, things like that. And it'll run you through that. It takes about 30 minutes or so to complete it. So make sure that you have that time set aside. And you have to complete the FAFSA once a year. So if you're interested in starting this spring, that FAFSA for this spring term is currently open. So you have that right now, and you can do that, and you'll be using your tax information from 2022 there for it there. If you're interested in starting in the next year, our fall 24 intake, right now the FAFSA is not open yet for that, but will be open. We're anticipating December 31st for that. All right, so that's why I mentioned that you make sure you apply to the FAFSA that corresponds to your year, but that's okay because right now it's just the spring one is open. All right, so let's talk about grants. So a lot of times I'll get questions on, you know, are grants available for graduate school? How does that work? And a lot of times people remember something called a Pell Grant, or if you live in Illinois, a MAC grant. Well, federal and state grants typically only apply toward undergraduate degrees and not toward graduate programs. However, We do offer something here at Elmhurst called our Elmhurst Graduate Grant. So what we do is we look at your financial aid need based on your FAFSA results. And from there, we determine if you are eligible for our graduate grant. So that graduate grant could be anywhere from, if you qualify, anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 per year, depending on your need, which is a really nice little bonus there for you. And because it's a grant, you do not have to pay it back. We put it directly on your account there. And then typically that grant will carry over to that next year. But just remember, it is based on your financial aid results. So you need to make sure that you follow that FAFSA for that next academic year. Okay, so the majority of your financial aid that you're going to be using to finance graduate school is a loan. A graduate student loan, also called a direct unsubsidized loan. So when I say a direct unsubsidized loan, what that means is that when you complete the FAFSA, they're going to ask you all those questions that I mentioned earlier. And at the end, they're going to say, okay, this is what you're awarded, $20,500 in a graduate unsubsidized loan. So unsubsidized means that you will accrue interest while you are in school on that particular loan. So for instance, students who started this past fall, their interest rate is at 7.05%. So when they started classes back on August 28th there, that's when that interest started accruing on the loan that they borrowed out. However, they don't have to pay anything until they're actually done with the program. It's usually about 6 months after you complete your program there. We award out to $20,500, and we split that by term. So you'll receive $10,250 in the fall, and then $10,250 in the spring. If you're starting in the spring semester there, obviously you would just get the $10,250 in the spring term, and then next academic year, you would get that full $20,500, so $10,250 in the fall, and then $10,250 in the spring. Another thing I want to mention is we only award in the fall and spring terms as far as financial aid goes, these loans. Some of your programs may have courses in what we call our J term or our summer term. So what you want to do is if you have any extra loan money left over, you'll want to utilize that to help pay for your J term and your summer there. In addition, there is no credit check required for these loans, but you do have to complete what's called a master promissory note, also done through studentaid.gov, and loan entrance counseling as well. And once you have that all on your file there, we will also send you a letter with your financial aid information as far as what you received. And then you'll also have to accept the loan on our system, which we call our student portal, my.elmhurst.edu there, via our self-service application there. All right, if we want to go ahead and next screen here. Okay. Sometimes students will utilize loans and then want to use a payment plan as well too. So what I forgot to mention is even though a student may be eligible to receive up to that $10,250 per term, let's say maybe they don't want that full amount there. You can work with me and I can actually adjust that down for you. And if you want to do a partial loan for a smaller amount and then do a payment plan, you can do that. We break up our tuition into 5 monthly installments per each fall and spring semester there. For J term and summer, there is not a payment plan just because of it's a shorter term there, but it's a nice option. Some students don't want to do loans at all, and then you could just utilize that Blue J5 plan to just do the 5 monthly installments there. So a very nice option. In addition, we do also offer a tuition reimbursement program for our students who are receiving employer assistance. with their tuition. So students just have to submit a letter of eligibility from their employer, and you could submit it either to myself or Student Financial Services. So we have that on file. And what this does is it actually allows you to defer your tuition until 8 weeks after the end of the semester, which is really nice because a lot of times employers will ask for grades, right? They want to make sure that you got a decent grade on that before they're going to pay. So you're able to show your employer your grades, and then you can then make payment prior to the 8th week of the end of the term there. Now, there is a small fee of $25 per term that you're planning to use tuition reimbursement. All right, so let's take a look at a tuition and financial aid example. We got Victor E. Blue Jay. He's ready to party here. But before he parties, he wants to look at his MBA program. So he is wondering, how is this going to work for me as far as my cost for our MBA program in his first semester? So what we do is we take a look at a couple things. Typically, our MBA program, students are going to take 2 courses. I always forget to update this slide. 2 courses, each at 3 semester hours each. So it's actually a total of 6 semester hours there. So he has 2 courses there, each at 3 semester hours there. So 900 a semester hour. And then he has a technology fee that we currently charge at $185. So his cost for the first semester is $5,585 before financial aid. So let's take a look and see what happens when he has his financial aid. So Victor applies for financial aid, and he ends up receiving a graduate grant because we determined that he needed that additional funding there. And then he's also going to take out the loan as well too. So he has $1,000 in graduate grant, 10,000. This is wrong too. Sorry, 10,250 in the graduate unsubsidized loan there. So his total aid is actually 11,250. He minus that out. And he actually has a credit here. Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate that. He actually has a credit available that will help him out. So as I mentioned before, that credit, he can utilize some of that for his J-term course that's going to be upcoming for him if he started in the fall, and that is usually $2,700, so you can use that. And then you can use the rest for any other types of additional expenses that he had. But the really nice thing here is with the financial aid and our part-time programs there, typically the loans, you won't have to pay anything out of your pocket there. You know, you'll have your loans to help you cover everything there, which is a nice feature. All right. So quick, easy, right? Not too bad. I am here to help with any questions or concerns that you may have. You can always email me and give me a phone call as well too. And I'm happy to answer any questions or concerns that you have right now as well too. All right. Let me know if you guys want to unmute yourself or if you wanted to ask questions in the chat. That is fine as well. No questions?
Okay, I do have a question.
Please, go ahead. I didn't hear the question. Ah, okay. Now I see a question here in chat. Are there any other financial opportunities available, such as assistantships or fellowships?
Okay.
That So we do have some assistantships sometimes that come up for some of our graduate students who are working in our athletics department there. But there's nothing specifically right now that you could apply for there. But when they do actually post those, they actually post those on our HR website there. If you go to elmhurst.edu and you look at apply for jobs, you can typically see those assistantships there. I don't assist with the FAFSA forms. Unfortunately, we can't with that there, but it is an easy process there. So it's not really that hard to do. And I believe there is actually a phone number that you can call if you need some help with the FAFSA. The Department of Education could assist you as well too. Any other questions here? The number off the top of my head, I would not know, but I do know that when you are filling that out, there is that you should be able to find that right there. They make it pretty easy. And in fact, I think they might actually have a chat function now available as well too. You're welcome. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. All right. I don't see any more questions upcoming unless I missed anything. Sarah, did I miss anything here? I don't believe I did. Okay.
I have a question. Is it
Yes.
possible?
Okay.
So, okay, say like if we take out a loan from the previous year, so like 2024, could we use, if we have money left over, could we use that loan money like for the fall of 2025, or we cannot use that loan money from the previous year?
Yeah, if you had that loan money and they already sent it back to you, like in your checking account, you can use that for it. That's not a problem at all. And then one thing I didn't mention as well too is if you have out previous loans from your undergrad, those loans will go into deferral status when you go back into a master's program. So then you don't have to make payment on those undergrad loans. Does that help answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Perfect. All right. Any other questions before we end our presentation here? All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for coming today and spending their time with us today on their lunch break. And again, please reach out to us in case any questions come up. I am available by phone or via email there, and I'm happy to assist. Thank you, everyone, and take care.
Thank you, you as well.
Bye-bye.